What will millennials be blamed for in 50 years? Story 1. For raising their babies with tablets and internet. Reply. Yeah, but you know, if tablets and internet existed for us millennials in the 80s, you then can bet your ass our parents would have raised us the same way, lol. Reply 2. I'm already blaming us for that. There's nothing wrong with it in my opinion, but it still kind of irritates me when all the new kids coming into my workplace nowadays don't have anything to talk about with movies or TV. They haven't seen anything. Just YouTubers and VTubers. Asked the girl I work with if she played video games and she got really excited and started talking about VR chat. I just want to talk about how much I loved All Dogs Go to Heaven with a like-minded individual. Story 2. YouTube and TikTok families. Maybe a rampage of stolen identities, because how many parents currently share their children information online? Reply. I don't get how people just post their young children everywhere. Why would you make a social media account for a child who can't talk yet? Also, it's just wrong. That video of your child didn't get 500k likes because it's being so cute. Predators watch those videos. Reply 2. This one enrages me. We are raising a generation of children whose parents exposed them to the entire world at an age where they are as vulnerable and pliable to social pressure as they possibly can be, purely to feed their own parents' narcissism and need for the dopamine hit of the validation of social media. I can't imagine how badly that would fuck with me. My entire development shared with every single person my parents know, plus hundreds of strangers before I even hit puberty? Being a goddamn teenager is hard enough, Jesus. Has anyone noticed how our generation of child stars are almost universally emotionally fucked up? Congrats, fellow millennials, now everyone gets to be. I'm being a bit hyperbolic here, but no parent is doing that for their kids. They're doing it for themselves. Story 3. Being robophobes. No, I don't respect your relationship with an AI bot. Reply. I got nothing against robots, I just don't want my daughter marrying one. Reply 2. Some of my closest friends are robots. Story 4. Open concept houses with gray, beige, taupe everything, sharp edges, and vessel sinks. Reply. Oh, I work around 18-year-olds a lot. You would be amazed at what they ask older generation about how did people dress in the 80s, and they actually like the wood paneling we have in the building, LMAO. Gold faucets and crap is coming back in style too. Story 5. You didn't stop Skynet. We had a whole movie franchise about it. Shakes fist angrily at AI. Reply. I think we'll actually be blamed for way less interesting stuff. Like staying in the workforce too long so the new generation can't find jobs. But it'll be because we can't fucking retire. Because President Rittenhouse took the GOP to the promised land and finally did away with that pesky Social Security entirely. But hopefully enough of us will perish in the water wars that will free up some jobs. Story 6. The rise of AI. Also, basically everything that will be wrong at that time. Reply. Man, my Gen X and Boomer bosses are pushing this, not me. Story 7. Not solving the existential problems facing humanity, same as every generation before them and every generation after them. It's beautiful, in a way. The circle of life. Reply. Millennials grew up on Captain Planet and hearing about climate change. So we now drive giant fucking SUVs and trucks everywhere, collect hordes of useless plastic shit, and consider traveling to be an expected part of our life experience, because what do you mean you haven't been overseas? Reply 2. Oh yeah, that one international vacation the average millennial can even dream of taking within a given decade is really taking its toll. Sorry. If I have the opportunity to see more of this planet in my very limited lifetime, I'm gonna take it. Air travel as a whole contributes 4% to emissions. Lodge your complaints with corporations and industry where it actually belongs. Reply 3. Thanks for saying the necessary. No one should be faulted for seeing more of the world. And the blame should absolutely go to the corporations. Story 8. Collapse of digital privacy. Reply. Endless bullshit laws constantly being brought in to erode our privacy under the guise of anti-terrorism, and our free speech is constantly under threat thanks to anti-hate speech laws. Reply 2. Could you blame millennials for that, though? It started when we were still pretty young, and when it continued, there was very little we could do about it. Story 9. Wealth inequality. All that sweet, sweet boomer money. Reply. I'm a boomer who has spent my life providing stability for each of my kids and their kids. My mom was a war widow with 6 kids. Never wanted my kids or grandkids to go without everything like we did. Set them all up and will die happy knowing I did the best I could. Story 10. Painting over hardwood trim, cabinets, etc. Reply. Entire houses in shades of white with trinkets and signs somehow being called farmhouse, despite being entirely impractical if you happen to actually live on a farm, or property, or near a dirt road and like to open the window. Story 11. Not doing enough to fix what generations before us did. Reply. Gen Alpha will feel this way about Zoomers too. Story 12. Most of us will be dead. So taking up all the cemeteries. Reply. Not me. Just throw me in the trash. Reply 2. This. Millennials were born between roughly 1981 and 1996. So in 50 years we'll be 77 to 92 years old. But the way the economy is going, we probably won't get to enjoy retirement or old age care or even good enough health care in general as we age. I'll probably die working in my 60s. Story 13. Not stopping boomers, like had the power to do that. Reply. This is the answer. We'll be blamed for allowing people in their 60s to 80s to run the planet into the dirt. Story 14. For being conservative, selfish bastards. I know, but that's the very opposite of how millennials should be seen. And if you'd complained about conservative boomers when they were in their 30s, you'd have seemed backwards, too. Boomers in their youth opposed war, promoted civil rights, criticized capitalism, broke down gender barriers, and basically acted exactly the opposite of the current boomer stereotype. Honestly, I don't know if they changed as they got older, or if blaming boomers for all the evil in the world is as inaccurate as blaming avocado toast for global economic hardships. Either way, it will happen to millennials one day, too. Gen Z, or more likely, Alpha, will fucking hate millennials the way millennials hate boomers. And the way boomers hated their greatest generation parents. And for all the same reasons. Story 15. Wet razors costing £500 each. It'll be the 75-blade razor from Gillette. You couldn't just stop at 5 blades, could you? Always having to go one extra each time. Reply. At what point does a multi-blade razor become a beard grater? Story 16. Killing the dying industry. Everybody wants to be a tree or something. Not paying $100,000 for a plot is ruining the American cemetery. Have they no respect for our traditions? Story 17. Population shortages, you're welcome, and hopefully the demise of shitty fast food chain restaurants when we refuse to return to the office to sit at our desk for no reason. Hey, stop. You're pretty cool. Subscribe for more. Yo.